So I just got done with a client meeting and I was doing some online shopping with her, but we were meeting in person and I was feeling pretty good and energetic, and I thought now would be a really good time for me to make a video kind of reconnecting with you guys and talking about where I've been. And so I'm gonna dive deep into that right now. Some of you may or may not have seen the post on Instagram or here on YouTube, but my beloved dog Beau of 8 years passed away unexpectedly about a month ago from cancer. And losing Beau was like one of the hardest things that I've ever been through in my life, and I have to say I've been through quite a lot of trauma, drama, heartache, you name it, and still that was like the hardest thing that I've ever gone through. And I've never cried harder in my life, but as soon as Beau died, it was like my whole world just kind of stopped and everything got put on hold. Like videos, YouTube, Instagram, working with clients, self-care, it just all ended because it all felt like A, too much, and then B, just not possible to really dive into that creative headspace that I think you need to have when you're trying to be a creative person. So even though I didn't want to take a break, it ended up turning into a break, and then it turned into a longer break and a longer break and a longer break. And even a few weeks before Beau passed away, I was feeling like something was off. In January, I began reading the book, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying by Brianna, and in that book, she just addresses like the common themes amongst people who are dying, who are in hospice, no matter their age. And so it was a really interesting read. And so it got me thinking quite a lot about my creative life and my work life, because I do feel like even though I love what I do, I spend a lot of time focusing on my job, and I don't know that that always lines up with the values that I have for myself or for my family. And I'm sure you can relate to that. You know, our work is like a big part of our life. And then February rolled around, and before I knew it, I was turning 38. And for me, birthdays are always like a natural reflection point. You know, you take time to evaluate where you are in life and how things are going. And to be perfectly honest with you, birthdays are just really, really hard for me. I don't enjoy them as much as I used to, and it doesn't have to do with age per se, but it just has to do with this feeling of pressure that I need to be a certain point in life. And there's a lot wrapped up in that, and a lot of you have commented on Instagram or messaged me that you have felt the same way about your birthday too. And so it's not like a totally uncommon thing, but it ended up being kind of a disaster birthday, and my husband and I had lots of arguments around that time, and it was just a really difficult time for us. And Beau was like a big fixture for that period of time as well, because he was so loving and attentive and sweet to us. And after the birthday passed, before I knew it, it was like Beau was dying, and I didn't even think about celebrating my birthday. You know, it was like I had all these plans and dreams that I was trying to achieve with implementing a strategy for Instagram and wanting to do all this stuff for my clients, and then recovering from my birthday and all of the intensity with that, and then he was just passing away. Beau was like a support dog for me. He was like a PTSD therapy dog for me and for my husband. And my husband has a very difficult job. He sees death on the regular. He sees destruction, drug addiction, shootings. I mean, senseless acts of violence or just senseless acts of death, random people, people die all the time. And he would come home from a shift, or I would be having a really bad day, and Beau would take almost all of his 80 pounds and like lay on our chest, or he would come and nudge me when I needed to get up, or when I was feeling low. He would just connect with me, and he would know, like, he was intuitive that way, for my mental health. Like, that, I can't understate how much that impacted me, to have a loving, caring, supportive animal that just was always there. Like I said, Beau had cancer, and we had no idea, because Beau was a very happy dog. He was part boxer, and he never exhibited any signs of being very sick, very, very ill. And we never actually confirmed that he had cancer, but because the vets were so experienced with this type of illness, they knew pretty clearly that it was going to be cancer. So one day we went on a really long walk with Beau, and it was the most beautiful day. The wind was blowing so hard, and we just went on an extra long walk with him. And even during the walk, I kept thinking to myself, what if he's not okay? Like, something was telling me he might not be okay. And we got home from the walk and he seemed all right, but then Mike went to pet him and he just kind of yelped like something was wrong. Later that night, he ended up not feeling well, throwing up. We called the vet and they said to come in the morning if we felt he was okay through the night. I came the next morning, Mike went to work, and then by 9:30 that night, Mike and I were having to put Beau down. And it was the worst, hardest decision of my life. I knew it was the right thing for him because I didn't want him to suffer, but it was so hard to say goodbye. And thankfully the hospital where we took him is a veterinary school, and so they're like fully equipped and they were fully prepared to let us take all the time we needed to be with our Beau, with our son.
Look who's getting excited for some food treats. We got some snacks. Oh, some snacks. Yeah.
Good boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're a nice little treat. Now your treat, Beau. Good boy. Good boy. You still making messes?
Yeah.
Good boy.
That's a good boy.
If you're somebody that is single or you're married but you don't have children, then a pet can be like a child for you. And Beau was very much like a child for me and Mike. And he took on that role and he made me a mommy, and albeit a dog mom, and he taught me how to take all the steps to care for another being and to make sure that they're okay before you're okay. And he brought out the nurturing instincts in me as a mom, and I just always thought that one day Beau would get to see me have my own children. And Mike and I had talked about that, and so when that day came that we knew that wasn't going to be, it was so crushing. And for so many other reasons, losing a pet is like one of the hardest things that you can go through. I had so many clients text me. You guys sent me well wishes and cards and flowers and plants, and many of you have lost animals in your life too, and you know what kind of special grief that is. So it's like a little hidden club in one way, you know what I mean? Like there's like a secret club, and it's a sad club to be a part of, but a lot of you have messaged me saying that the harder you love, the bigger the grief, and that is very true. So in a way, I feel like the amount of grief that I've experienced over losing Beau is a testament to how much I loved him and how much he loved me, which I think is not a bad thing. I think that's definitely a very, very good thing. And I'm proud of how much I loved my dog and the tight bond that he and I had, because, like I said, Mike would be gone for 3 days in a row sometimes, and it would just be me and Beau like 24/7. So he was my dog, and he was his daddy's dog. Is getting another dog in the cards for us? You might be asking yourself, is she gonna get another dog? I think yes, actually. We went and looked at puppies today, and we met one that looks remarkably like Beau, which you might think would be weird, but it was actually very cool to get to see what Beau might have looked like as a little 4-month-old puppy, because we got him when he was 8 months old. But he is irreplaceable. I mean, you can't replace one unique being with another, and yet at the same time, I know that when the right dog comes into our lives, we will get that. We will know. And I've had many of you and some special sweet clients and friends from church and family members say the very same thing. So I'm not worried about when we'll get the right dog. I just know it will happen, but it may not be right now. I really want to get my life together. I want to get the house organized. I want to gain my strength back after losing Beau, and I want to go on a mini vacation with Mike, and maybe this space that Beau created from being gone maybe shouldn't be filled so fast. Maybe it's a space for a child, or a new project, or more healing, or more togetherness, because Mike and I have never had to lean on each other the way that we've had to lean on each other through Beau's passing, and it's been a really sweet time for us. It's like very transformational. Grief instantaneously, in my opinion, reorients your priorities in life, and I feel like I really needed that. Beau going away and his death was so, like, it was like a lightning rod in our life, and I'm so grateful for it. I can't tell you. So even though I was making all of these plans and all these dreams and scheming and blah blah blah, I think God had other plans for me and Mike other than the daily grind. And so I'm hoping that those lessons that we learned during the very, very most raw parts of this grieving process, we don't lose those lessons and we keep them going forward. Everybody experiences grief on a small scale and a large scale, because guess what? We all have the same ending. We're all going to pass away, and all things come to an end. So buckle up. But yeah, I mean, when that time comes for you, take all the time that you need, because the more you can feel what you're going through and really process the weight of it, the faster you're going to heal, and the less time overall you're going to spend grieving, very hardcore grieving. And I'm so glad that Mike and I have the privilege to be able to do that, because we needed it. We needed it really badly. I also noticed that right after Beau died, I was super in tune with everyone around me and felt like, man, everyone I see has lost someone probably. And I don't know what news this random person just got. What if the person who just cut me off in traffic just learned that they have cancer, or that their mom has cancer, or that their dog died, or that their dad died? I mean, you never know what someone is going through, so it's really important to be super calm and patient with everyone around you. Not that we do it perfectly, but I think it's a good thing to kind of carry with you in life, because you just never know what someone's going through. One Bible verse that's really got me through this time is the Bible verse that says, "Cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you." I have recited that to me and to Mike over and over and over again, because anxiety is a real thing that we all deal with, and whatever it is, like, you can literally cast it on God because he cares for you, and it's just such a weight off the shoulders. It's a relief, honestly, in my opinion, and it's something that's helped me a lot, and I hope that it helps you too. So many of you reached out to me in direct message on Instagram, or in the comments here on YouTube, or via email, and I can't tell you how much what you said meant to me. I have clung to those words. Every single message, every single comment has meant the world to me. It's gotten me through this time, and thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your experience with loss and grief. And if you have any parting words that you want to leave in the comment section, feel free to do that, because I'd love to hear from you. We can all learn from each other. Jessica, Harumi, and I are for sure doing the Parisian Style Challenge. So excited to say that. It is for sure happening, so I will keep you posted with more details. But I'm so glad that I got to make this video for you today. It means the world to me to have your support, and it would mean a lot for me to just continue to connect with you. So if you wouldn't mind liking this video, because I've been gone from YouTube for so long, I'm terrified that the YouTube algorithm is like going to think I disappeared forever. So please like this video, leave me a comment, and if you've got a person in your life that's suffering from pet loss or just grief in general, feel free to share this with them. Maybe they'll find it a little bit helpful, maybe not, but I love you guys so much, and I'm so excited about the rest of this year. And I promised Beau when he died that I would keep fighting. So after some long days off, I'm back, and I'm gonna keep fighting. So I love you, and I hope you have a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Bye.